Hello and welcome friends and fam. Thank you so much for joining me. My name is Amy Millar and thank you for coming to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a 20-minute yoga for digestive practice. Now I just had a really big Thanksgiving dinner yesterday and the day before, so I'm really kind of feeling it. So these postures are going to really help get things moving, help aid in digestion. So if you want to go ahead and grab a block, it's not necessary, but as always, props can be our friends. So we'll go ahead and we'll start in child's pose today. Thank you so much for being here. Let's get started. Beginning in a child's pose. The knees are wide, the toes come to touch, hips back. Arms overhead, palms facing down, biceps beside the ears, just settling into the space. Arriving onto your mat, taking this time for yourself, and shifting your awareness inwards. Taking a quick inventory of how you're feeling in your physical body today. Noticing any areas that need some extra love, maybe some extra breath and attention. Pressing your forehead firmly down into the mat, calming the central nervous system. Maybe lifting the fingers up, fanning them out, and placing them down intentionally. Let's start with some nice deep breaths together. Take a deep inhale into the back body. Fill the belly and the lungs. Exhale, slowly release. Taking another deep inhale through the nose, fill the belly. Breathe into the space between the shoulder blades. Fill the lungs. Hold at the top. Exhale, let it go. Last breath together. Inhale deeply through the nose. Fill the belly. Fill the lungs. Holding at the top, sip in a little more air here, and then setting an intention for yourself. And on your exhale, releasing it into the ether. Staying here for another moment. And if this is too intense for you, you can always come out of it and then come right back into it. Or some light movement always feels good as well. One more breath here. Moving into a puppy pose. Let's take our knees underneath our hips. So stack the knees underneath the hips. Walk the hands out again. Tip your forehead down if you can. You can also make this more intense by coming up onto fingertips. Be here for a few breaths. And trying to get that forehead to the mat or a block. Drawing the belly button up towards the sky. Making some light movement. Pressing down through the tops of the feet. Rolling the head side to side on the mat. Grounding yourself. One more breath here. Let's inhale and take our left arm out to the side. As you exhale, thread it underneath your armpits. And bring your cheek down to the mat if it's accessible. Thread the needle, puppy pose variation. Take some deep breaths here in this twist. And with every inhale, creating the space, and with every exhale, just taking it a little bit further, a micro amount. Breathing. We'll take one more breath here together. Then unthread the arm, bring it back overhead. We'll go the other side, inhale deeply. Arm comes out like an airplane wing. Thread it underneath the other armpit. Take the cheek down to the mat or to a block. And breathe. We'll go one more breath here. Take a deep inhale as you unthread the arm. Take it out in front. Come back into one last puppy. And then let's walk our hands underneath our shoulders. So our wrists are stacked underneath our shoulders, coming into a tabletop position for cat-cow. Inhale, take the gaze up. Tailbone and top of the head come up towards the sky as we drop the chest down, arcing through the back. Shoulders away from the ears, pushing down through the hands. Take an inhale here. Exhale into cat pose. Rounding the spine, tucking the chin, tucking the tailbone. Pushing the ground away from you. Inhale, cow. Drop the shoulders, take the gaze up, tailbone up. Push down into the hands. Exhale, round, coming into cat. Arcing the spine, pulling the shoulder blades apart, tucking the chin and the tail. Pushing down through the hands and the tops of the feet. Couple more here. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Bring it back into a neutral tabletop. Take a breath here, nice flat back, like you're balancing a glass of water. Let's tuck our toes and come into a downward facing dog. Lift the hips high, biceps by the ears. Take whatever you need here. Come up on some tippy toes. Shift the weight side to side. Bend and straighten the legs, the knees. Shift the weight. Nice deep breaths here. Take some twists. One more breath here. Let's inhale, bring the left leg back, step it through between the hands, pivot the back foot so that it's parallel with the mat, and cartwheel the arms into warrior two. Stack the shoulders over the hips, nice and strong. Take a breath here. Make sure the knee's not caving out to the side or in. Knee is stacked over the ankle. And again, foot can be on an angle, however is comfortable for you. Take your gaze over that middle finger. Reach opposite directions, nice and strong. Then let's straighten the front leg. Reach like someone's pulling you from the torso. And then take that hand down, come into a triangle pose. Now you can take your hand down as far as comfortable. And take your gaze up if possible. Again, wherever you're at is fine. If you're here or here, that's beautiful. Take your gaze up, hold here, nice deep breaths. Pushing down through that back foot. Core is nice and strong. One more breath. And then let's press our way off of that leg. Come back into warrior two. Cartwheel the arms back down, pivot back on the back foot. Take the leg back. And come back into our downward facing dog. Pedal it out, take a breath. Other side, same thing. Let's inhale the right leg back. Bring it through, place it between the hands, pivot the back foot, cartwheel the arms into warrior, warrior two. Stack the shoulders over the hips. Take the gaze over the middle finger. Nice and strong like you're reaching opposite directions. Hips are open, knees stacked over the ankle. Bring it a little bit lower. One more breath. Let's straighten that front leg. Inhale as you reach, someone's pulling you. Take your hand down to your shin or to the ground. Take your gaze up if possible. Stack the shoulders. Breathe. Belly button is drawn in. Pretending we're between two panes of glass. Nice straight body. Stacking the shoulders. One more breath. And then press off that leg. Back up. Bend into the knee through warrior. And then let's cartwheel the arms back down. Take the leg back. Downward facing dog. Pedal it out here. Bend the knees. Let's walk our way up to the front of the mat or step your foot wide as the mat. Coming into Massana yogi squat. So coming down, drop the hips where you can. If you're here, that's perfectly fine. Holding here, we're gonna take a few breaths. Nice deep breaths. If your hips are all the way down, press those triceps into the knees. And if you're able, go ahead and take an open twist. So take one hand down, open up. Take your gaze up. Take a breath, bring it back to prayer. Other side, open up. And back to prayer. And then let's lower ourselves down onto our sit bones and extend our legs out in front of us. You can keep a bend in the legs or in the knees if that feels better for you, into a seated forward fold. So let's inhale our arms up. Exhale, keep the chest lifted, reach forward for those feet. And you can always use a little bit of movement to help you into poses. So I like to just bend and straighten my knees to ease in. I've got super tight hamstrings, a lot of us do. And then also you can pull the flesh out from underneath you. Holding here, let's lift the chest, inhale. Exhale, see if you can come down a little bit further. Telling yourself you're safe. Nice deep inhale, find that space. Exhale, forward fold, surrender into the pose. Keep the chest lifted if you can. One more breath, inhale, find that space. Exhale, bring it down. Slowly roll your way up. Let's go ahead and bend the right knee. Bring the inner arch of the foot against the thigh, the inner thigh. And then let's inhale our left arm up. Our right fingertips come back behind us and cross it over. You can also hold your knee in if that's easier. Or inhale the arm up and hook the elbow across the top of the thigh. Keep the hand up. Take your gaze back, open up the shoulder, lengthen through the spine. Take your gaze back over, flex the foot, keep the leg active. Lower to the fish's pose. We'll take a couple breaths here. Nice deep breath, belly button drawn into the spine. One more deep breath here. And then slow and controlled, we're gonna unfold ourselves. Lower that leg down, bring the other one up. So again, bring it to the inner thigh. Take your fingertips back behind you. Inhale that right arm up. Again, you can hold the knee in if that feels better for you. And then exhale, twist, palm facing forward, and to the side, and then take your gaze back over. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, twist, keep that foot flexed. Holding here for 3 breaths. With every inhale, lengthen. And with every exhale, deepen the twist if you can. Last breath here. Inhale that arm back overhead. And we'll take one more forward fold. Inhale the arms up. Chest lifted, reach for those feet. Take a breath here. Take your hands back behind you. And we'll come into a bridge pose. So lower down, try to activate that core as you come down. Take the feet slightly wider than hips. And just a few inches away from your heels, scoop that tailbone under. Keep the belly button drawn in. Palms facing down. Let's press down through the feet, lift our hips up into extension, roll onto the fleshy parts of the shoulder. Keep the core nice and strong here. Now if you want to go ahead and interlace your fingers, that's available to you as well. Squeeze those hips, squeeze your booty. Press down through the feet, holding here. Let's hold for a couple of breaths. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Let all that fresh blood come down. Breathe. 3, 2. Last breath. Slowly lower vertebrae by vertebrae. Extend your left leg long. Grab either the ankle or the bottom of the foot for half happy baby. Pull that knee down. It's off the side of the ribs. And just shimmy side to side if that feels good for you. Taking a couple breaths here. Breathing. Last breath here. And then we'll extend this right leg and pull in the left. Again, grabbing wherever is accessible to you. Grab the bottom of the foot or the edge of the foot if that's accessible to you, or the ankle. And again, take some sways side to side. Nice deep breaths here. One more deep breath. And then we'll pull our knees into our chest. Give yourself a big hug. Squeeze your knees in. And then extend your legs. Going to move into a supine twist. Draw the right knee in. pull it across the body, all the way across to the ground if you can, and then open up that arm. Take some nice deep breaths here. Belly button is drawn in. And take your gaze back over the shoulder. One more nice deep breath. Reach across, pull that knee back into your chest. Other side, pull the left knee in, give it a good squeeze, and then pull it across the body. Open up that arm. Now one side might feel tighter than the other. That's perfectly normal. Let that gravity pull you open. Try to keep the knee down if you can. Nice deep breaths here. Belly button into the spine. Just feeling the surrender of your body opening. One more deep breath. And draw the knee back in. Extend the legs long. Reach the fingertips overhead. Stretch. Make yourself as tall as possible. And then bring the hands down. Palms facing up or down. Let the feet flop out. Roll onto the shoulders. Coming into our final resting pose, Shavasana. If you're feeling the need for a longer Shavasana, please be sure to honor that. Allowing all of this information to download into our cells, our body. We'll just be here for a few moments. All right, coming back into your physical vessel, little movements through your fingers and your toes. And rolling on to either side whenever you're ready, pausing for a breath. Into fetal position. And then make your way up into a seated position. Sukhasana, easy sits. Lengthening through the spine, sitting nice and tall. Sweep the arms up as you inhale. Hands come to prayer down to heart center, bowing our head in gratitude and humility. The divinity and the light within me honors and respects the divinity and the light within you. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me. If you like this content, please be sure to like, share, and subscribe down below. And thank you so much. I appreciate your energy with me. Namaste.